Many people are captivated by the idea of wealth and achieving a higher status. For some, this drive comes from being in a tough situation, where the pursuit of success becomes a way to cope and escape. And for others, maybe it's about pride. Whatever the reason, the ambition to improve and elevate oneself can become a daily obsession. It's very important for us to work on ourselves and work hard, but it can be very dangerous if we are doing this with the wrong heart. We need to understand that life is short, and the possessions we acquire in this life will bring us nothing more than a short feeling of happiness. And the end prize for everything you work for is simply the thing it gives you here on this earth. It goes no further than that. In this verse from Ecclesiastes 2, it says, "And whatever my eyes desired, I did not keep from them. I kept my heart from no pleasure, for my heart found pleasure in all my toil, and this was my reward for all my toil. Then I considered all that my hands had done, and the toil I had expended in doing it, and behold, all was vanity and a striving after wind, and there was nothing to be gained under the sun." There is nothing under the sun, meaning on this earth, that can truly be gained. For everything on this earth is fading away with it. All your hard work and struggle will lead to nothing more than fleeting moments of satisfaction on this earth. You win a medal, and what do you truly earn from that, besides a piece of metal for your eyes to look at? And in the end, no one will remember your accomplishments. All is passing. Everything we strive for, every victory, is bound to be forgotten. For of the wise as of the fool there is no enduring remembrance, seeing that in the days to come all will have been long forgotten, how the wise dies just like the fool. No matter who you are, we all face the inevitable truth. No one escapes this, whether you're a peasant or a king, we all end up the same. Our lives are brief, and when they end, we don't get to take anything with us. Everything we earn in this world will be left behind. Because sometimes a person who has toiled with wisdom and knowledge and skill must leave everything to be enjoyed by somebody who did not toil for it. This is also vanity and a great evil. It's a harsh truth that all the time, wisdom, skill, and energy that is poured into someone's work, the fruits of their labors will eventually be handed over to the people who live after them. All that stress and struggle to be left to somebody who didn't lift a finger for it. Imagine living your entire life to be the most accomplished man on earth. You spend decades building your dream house, creating a business, and accumulating wealth. Yet when your time comes, you see it no more, and it's given to someone who didn't sacrifice for it, who may not value it the way you did. Everything we work for on this earth eventually fades away. This, in the end, is an essence of great vanity, knowing that all your striving might be in vain. What has a man from all his toil and striving of heart, with which he toils beneath the sun? For all his days are full of sorrow, and his work is a vexation. Even in the night his heart does not rest. This is also vanity. When you chase after self-indulgence and the illusion of a perfect life, the years you spend in pursuit of fleeting pleasures will offer you nothing in the end but emptiness. We convince ourselves that this path of success will lead to peace and freedom, but in the end it only robs us of our time, joy, and rest. We will only lie awake, restless, consumed by the longing for more wealth, more comfort, more success, yet never become satisfied. This endless striving, this unquenchable thirst for more, only leaves us more hollow than how we felt in the beginning. It's all vanity, a never-ending cycle that offers no true fulfillment. I just shared a number of verses from Ecclesiastes 2, pointing out that our work and our struggle and everything we pour ourselves into on this earth is ultimately vanity. So what does this leave us with? How are we supposed to find meaning in a world that seems to strip away the value in everything we chase after? Well, Ecclesiastes 3:12 says, "I perceive that there is nothing better for them than to be joyful and to do good as long as they live. Also that everyone should eat and drink and take pleasure in all his toil. This is God's gift to man." We are called to do good on this earth and to follow God's commandment and to find joy in the work that he gives us. And the work that God gives us often looks very different than what our flesh desires. We tend to believe that material things, possession, family, and money will bring us happiness, but in the end, they won't. The joy we seek each and every day doesn't come from the things we accumulate, but the work that God has for us. His work fills us with joy and endures forever. God's work for us cannot be taken, but the work of this world can vanish in an instant. I've seen people who did everything right, secured a high-paying job, built a home, got a family, achieved high status, and yet I watched it all crumble before them. The reality is that we are never truly in control, and what we cultivate in this world can be lost. But the work that God calls us to love, to serve, to minister. This is rooted in something far deeper, and our calling is unique to each of us. It remains with us regardless of the circumstances. There's a bigger picture beyond our lives. The truth is, there's so much more, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing that our purpose isn't to chase after material wealth, statuses, and experiences. For if it was like that, we would reach the end of our lives and find what was the meaning and purpose of all this. To indulge in ourselves and chase after temporary pleasures, that would make our life meaningless. All those things won't be remembered by you or anyone. True fulfillment is not what we gain with ourselves, but the work that God calls us to do, a work that lasts beyond this world. All go to one place. All are from the dust, and to dust all return. The world is overflowing with temptations, offering countless pleasures to satisfy the flesh. But these are not from God, and they are rooted in evil. We are called to live by the Spirit and not by the flesh. Our purpose isn't to chase after what the world offers, but to rise above those fleeting pleasures and to walk in the fullness of the calling that God has for our lives. For the mind that is set on the flesh is hostile to God, for it does not submit to God's law. Indeed, it cannot. Those who are in the flesh cannot please God. Things like riches and beauty are fleshly desires, and you cannot serve two gods. You can only serve one. The hard part about it is the flesh and the spirit naturally work against each other, which is why we need to learn and train our minds to think on things of above. Set your minds on the things that are above, not on the things that are on the earth. But what does thinking on things of above, what does that mean? Well, Philippians 4:8 tells us, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worth of praise, think about these things." It is good to want to better yourself and become a better person, but we must understand what is truly important, to keep our minds on the plan that God has for us, and not just get lost in personal growth. This message is to help keep us spend our life on worthless things, and realize we wasted our life to fleshly pleasures that are dying away with our bodies. It's time for us to work on what matters and what lasts, and to leave behind what is dying away. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." Matthew 6:33. "But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." The successful life that we are searching after is in God's plan. We spend so much time worrying about our own lives when we can give it to God. Seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added to you. And he will add those things to you and reward you with things that matter. Sometimes it feels like we're walking with no direction, but we need to understand that we are humans and we cannot see God's plan for us because it's often way bigger than we can even imagine. It's time to stop indulging in ourselves and allow God to direct you in the path that he planned for you.